Chelsea, Liverpool, or Arsenal. He might end up at Steve's club, Man City, if they sell Jack Grealish, in my opinion.
I mean, that's a good little segue. Welcome, Steve. Big up yourself, bro.
Hi guys, you all right?
Yeah, well, Steve.
Happy to have you. Steve, I wanted to ask this question when you got here because it's crazy, and I haven't been paying as much attention as obviously you would have been. City are so quiet in this window. I've almost forgot you're in the league, if that makes sense. It's like I'm so used to City buying players, and you haven't done anything. Talk to me, bro. What's the feeling like at City? Is there anybody coming in? Is there anyone leaving? What's happening?
The goalkeeper situation's changing. I think they could sign Trafford from Burnley. We had a buyback clause on him anyway. Edison's going to stay. I think he's his last year, so I think Edison will be number one. He'll just shadow him for a year. I think Ortega will go out. Grealish, his time's up. Him and Pep have not really had a good relationship last couple of years for whatever reason. Whether it be Jack discipline-wise, Pep just not fancying him, etc. And I think the cup final against Palace, when he played so well in the semi, didn't start him in the final, and then he brought on Echeverri instead of him. I know Grealish weren't happy with that. So I think Jack needs a move. I think he needs to freshen himself up now. I think somebody will get a good version of Jack Grealish if they can get him at the right money. I think they've got a great player on their hands, but it's just Pep's the king at Man City, and you've got to toe the line. It's like Fergie at United. You've seen big players like Yap Stam and that get bombed out, and not because they wasn't good enough, just because they did things that the manager didn't like. And City are in a rebuild. What people need to remember is that we won 4 league titles on the trot. So, we fell off last year, but did we fall off? We finished 3 points behind Arsenal, and we were terrible. Liverpool ran away with it. But we just quietly doing what we need to do. The backroom staff's all changed. Pep Lijnders is in from Liverpool. The set piece coach from Liverpool's in there as well.
That's such a strange. That's still strange as hell to us over here in Liverpool. I can't believe Pep wanted him, to be honest.
I mean, the people he had last year, Pep, they were literally, some of them couldn't even speak English. I think some of the players wasn't really. I think what happened with City last year, I think the morale around the camp didn't look the same. We've had this vibe going for like 6 or 7 years where it looked like a fun place to be and everything was bouncing and that. And then last year, it just looked really flat.
Do you know what? Do you know what signifies? Now, do you know what signifies that for me though? The point that you just made, bringing back Kolo Touré. To me, that was a very astute appointment on the basis of it's felt too serious at City for probably the best part of 12 months, as you say there, Steve, where how do you keep that intensity? How do you keep that level? How do you keep motivating yourselves to go? And sometimes you do just want to say, right, well, remember, there's an element of fun to be had in all of this. There's still a camaraderie, but there is an element of fun. And then because it wasn't going your way last season, you did tail off quite significantly by your own standards. I think Pep's looked at it and went, right, well, we need to tweak things tactically, but I need to get those vibes back. And that's not to just say that Kolo Touré is just going to be, the adult entertainer for them, and he's going to be putting on clown disguises and all the rest of it. But in terms of his energy and that infectious personality to be in and around on a day-to-day in the training grounds and stuff like that, I think he's a really key piece to that kind of bringing back that energy and that vibe that you kind of
one thing that the kit man that used to go when we win the trophies, he's sliding around the floor on his underpants and all that. Well, he left, and Brandon's a good friend of mine, and other people in the club left that you don't see. And he just said it became, like you said, very, very rigid and very, very
militant. Militant. Yeah,
regimental. And what happened was the year before last when we won the title, I think City thought, oh well, we've got a good side. Instead of taking a step back and going, yeah, we've won 4 in a row, but this team's getting old. We need to tweak it. And we tried to go again last year. The Rodri injury was massive because everything we do goes through Rodri. Whether it's the ball coming from Edison, it's Rodri. You look, people slagging Phil Foden last season. Yeah, he dropped off. But the midfield that was trying to play the ball into these tiny spaces was Kovacic, Gundogan, and Ruben Diaz coming from the back. And no disrespect, they can't do it. In pre-season, Reinders and Rodri, first couple of games, Phil Foden's got 4 goals because he's sliding the ball in the brave. It's like you having a world-class number 10 and having a crab playing behind him like an N'Golo Kante, who's very good at what he does, but he's not going to put that intricate ball through into the space. So what teams were doing was they're going, let Kovacic have the ball, let Akanji have the ball, let Diaz have the ball. If we sit deep, make sure Haaland's got 4 men round him. Man City ain't doing nothing. It's left to right, side to side. And that's what happened. But now what you've seen is you've got Ray and Cherky, Reinders, Rodri. You've got Ait Niori on the left-hand side linking up with Doku. So going forward, pre-season-wise, we look like we've got loads of options and it looks great again. But we've still got that elephant in the room at the back. One long ball down the middle of us and we're finished. So anyone with pace, it's great. But I think he needs to address it with the right-back situation. I feel like we're going to get a right-back soon, but it's mad, mate. It's mad.
Can I ask you a question?
Go on. Questions.
Yeah, it is. Now, go on. Gal, I think you wanted one as well. Go on.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, Steve, do you think the issues can be resolved, or do you think it's going to be something where it's going to be a transition? You're going to have to see how you guys can play with the new players, and this year you're not necessarily putting yourself in the forefront of the title race.
No, I think what Manchester City's plan is every season is stay on the coattails till the last 10. If Man City are 3 or 6 points off anybody with 10 games to go, I fancy us against anyone because we turn it on last quarter. If we're 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 behind, if we seem to be a little bit deflated, but I feel like the mentality in the club in them last 10 games, we can turn it. And I feel we've beat some of the best sides, the best Liverpool's ever had to offer, the best Arsenal's had to offer in the last few years. When we've gone toe-to-toe or we chased them, we've won. But last season, we were too far off it. But I think this season will be okay. I just feel like I'm happy Arsenal are getting the Laudits and Gyökeres and the pressure's there. I'm happy Liverpool are spending a few quid. The pressure's there. We've had to deal with that pressure the last 5 or 6 years. But I'm happy if someone else wants to take it over and us just do our business quietly. I'm happy with that. Because last year, nobody expected Liverpool to win the league. No one. Everyone was talking about Arsenal. If Man City slip, Arsenal will win the league. That was what everybody thought. And all of a sudden, Liverpool's winning and everyone's going, yeah, they've not played anyone yet. Yeah, wait till they play them. Wait till they play them. Before anyone realised what was going on, they're fucking miles ahead. So we can't let that happen again. But they're strong. They're looking great. Wirtz is a fantastic player. I wanted him at City. And Arsenal, even more pressure is on Arsenal now because they've got the man, the gun man they want. They've got the man. And Arteta knows that I've had a fucking lot of time. I've had a lot of excuses and I've had a lot of near misses. You can't be 4 in a row seconds when City's winning 4 in a row. It's just not going to not be allowed to happen.
No, but Steve,
let's get to the heart of the matter, yeah. And I just want to ask very genuinely for obviously I'll ask even Drifty this as well. What is your flaw this season, points wise? What is the flaw? Because that will tell me whether you man are in a title race or not. Our
flaw, in my opinion, is the defense.
Not your flaw. Not like what's the weakness. What is your flaw? So are you an 82-point team next season?
Oh, minimum points.
Yeah.
I mean, what
is your flaw next season with the squad that you currently assembled?
72, 75.
I wouldn't even look at it on a points thing.
Oh, you've got to, Steve, my friend, bro. You've got to, and the reason why I
feel like that's a little too early of a question, though. Like that's an early question, bro. Like we still got a month in this transfer window before we actually ask that question. I think personally, my thing with City is really just 2 things. Okay,
well, I'm asking for you of Chelsea as well, though, Joe. I'll
answer that question in 3 weeks when I know what the rest of my window is going to look like. That's the way I can answer that question. I can't answer that question right now.
We've all got to get 80 minimum, bro, surely.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
We all have to get 80 minimum. Chelsea, Liverpool,
no, I 100% think we're getting over 80 this year.
Have to get 80 minimum.
I think 100%. I got one question for Steve.
We're getting 90. I don't know about you guys.
I got a question, bro. One, Steve, don't you think like that last year was a bit of burnout like across the entire team? Like it just felt like because you didn't like renew in the beginning of the window. Did you feel like it was just like an overall burnout from like top to bottom kind of thing?
I think the club let us burn out because we got that league the season before. We were very good at the end of the season. We weren't good throughout the season. We were good near the end, and then they didn't strengthen. So they put extra pressure. Pep thought this 21, 22 man squad could cope. As soon as Rodri came out against Arsenal early in the season, we realised we couldn't. And it was just a race then. It was a panic station. So it was our own fault for taking the eye off the ball, which Man City are usually quite good at replacing players. Yeah. And I feel like January, we had a bit of a rush window where we needed bodies and they had to pull the trigger on a few targets that probably weren't meant to be coming in that January. And but I feel like we've got to win the league. We've got to win the league this season, and Pep knows it. We've got to win the league this season, and so that's what
I got one other question. I got one other question behind that, right? So now that you've refreshed, right? Do you believe the mentality can be translated with this new group of players? Because there's a lot of new players and a lot of new faces in this team right now, right? You're asking for the same kind of mentality from 2 years ago, but it's a lot of new faces in this team now that haven't seen the title yet, right? You do have a few pieces that still have, but do you think that mentality still can shift over, like especially year one with all these new players?
Well, I look at the team and people need to forget, some people forget that we have got Rodri, we have got Reinders, Cherky, Foden, Erling Haaland. So we ain't a bad side. And Pep Guardiola is massive to it. So if anyone wants to write City off, then that's fine by me. But I feel like we can get the mentality back. I think we've got enough players and a manager that knows what it's like to get there. It's just that we're getting this panic stations now. All the new generation of City fans that jumped on this bandwagon a few years ago are only used to winning. So last season when we're not winning, they're coming to the surface. They're talking shit online to our players. They're messaging people's wives and fucking bullshit. It's something I hate. Yeah. And people need to relax. But the core of the club know that we're in good hands with Pep. And we've just got to keep going. Don't let the outside noises get in. And Pep will know exactly what he needs to tweak. And the City fans panicking about defenders and all that, rightly so. It's a massive, flaw for us at the minute. It does look like we are vulnerable at the back. But you're not going to play every week against teams like in a friendly that got no pressure, going to bombard you. In the Premier League, 90% of the teams don't do that. Do you know what I mean? But I think we'll get it right. I think if we get a right back, we'll be very, very more balanced. And I think maybe
like a natural right back, not somebody to play right back.
Nunes is okay.
Yeah,
but okay is not good enough to win the title for me.
Right.
Steve, I still feel like you guys have a great midfield, great attack. Your team as a whole defensively is nowhere near as good as you guys have been those last 4 title teams.
Yeah, I just wonder how
you guys had a solid base. You guys had a solid base defensively where I never felt like you were going to ever concede more than 2 goals and lose a game. Now I feel like you're going to have to outscore teams, and it can get taxing when you have to outscore teams on a consistent basis. And it's not a thing where you can lean on your defense as much as you used to. And that's the only thing that I think separates you from maybe Arsenal and Liverpool right now. You still have the good midfield, the good attack. It's just that defense can be suspect at times. And it's not that the players are not good. It's just the total as a unit has not played with each other enough. They don't know each other as well as the previous team, where everything was kind of like everyone knew what they were doing. They knew how to organize themselves. Now it's just like maybe that will take time. But with the players and profiles you have, some of the young players, it might take them a couple of years, and some of the older players, they might be at the back end, and you might need to recycle and get that whole thing going in a year or 2. And I don't know if your defense is ready yet.
Yeah, but regardless, we can't count Pep out. Regardless,
Guardiola and Diaz, that partnership is it started to blossom a little bit. I think he's solid. Guardiola is a great player. He's a centre-back, but he's played left-back.
Definitely.
Now, Aït-Nouri's out there on the left. We don't have to worry about that. I think the left-hand side, anyone breaks on us down that left, we're all right, because Guardiola can come across. When you're coming down the right, you've got a problem, because Ruben Diaz is not the fastest in the world. But this is where last season we didn't have a Rodri. People were breaking on us last season. There was no one there. no one. You've got an Ilkay Gundogan treading water. You've got a Kovacic treading water. Now you've got the size of Rodri. Even in pre-season, you've seen it. It just, for me, it just give me a, oh, thank God Rodri's back. You know what I mean? Whereas last season, it was like, shit, we're on the run here. You know what I mean? And that's what...
He's very imposing, isn't he? Like, he's a unit as well. He's like, what,
everyone you
6'3",
speak to in
like
the game, they say, fucking hell, Rodri, you know, who's toughest play? He played in midfield. Rodri. We've just got, don't forget, he's had a bad injury. We've got to get him up to speed. He come off in pre-season. He was feeling it. But Reinders as well just looks the perfect guy alongside him to just... With City last season, I could tell you exactly how we're going to attack. It was so slow. The teams were letting Ruben Diaz and Manuel Akanji have the ball on the edge of their box. This season, it's going to be Akanji, Diaz, fuck off and stay in your own half. Give the ball to Rodri at the earliest opportunity. Get Reinders and Cherky buzzing around him. Get Foden in the pockets. Let's play fucking football. Last year, from watching I'm a team win 4 in a row to watching that, I'm an older City fan. I've seen the dog shit you've ever seen, worse than any of you have ever seen. I've seen. So I'm patient. But guys next to me were having meltdowns because we've seen this great brand of football and it's literally gone to shit. But that's football. We've seen Liverpool go from fucking Ricky Lambert and people like that to fucking Mo Salah. You've got to be patient. Things happen, you know. Arsenal the other year were running around with Pepe and people like this, and you think, but look at them now. They're a unit. They're a team. Chelsea's the same. It's just football's football. And like you say, I'm just fortunate enough that we've got Pep, and we know that Pep will be angry from last season. He had his off-field issues, etc. No excuse. We weren't good enough, but I feel like Pep's got to get it right. Pressure's on him.
You think you get Rodrigo? You think you get Rodrigo?
I don't know. I don't see where he fits in because he seems to be.
We've got the requirements, lad.
Yeah, we've got Cherky, we've got Vino, we've got.
He'd be a
I mean, they really like Doku over there.
He play on the left.
Yeah, but he's gonna. I feel like he's gonna play Doku.
Yeah.
And Rodrigo's better than Doku, but Pep's saying, look, he's getting into it. He's getting into it, and fair enough. We'll see. Savinho, to be fair, shouldn't have played as many games as he did last year. He was brought in from Girona just to not play that amount of games, but we needed him. I think Savinho is a good player, but him and Doku last year was so frustrating. And there was no end product. Haaland was in the box. You got the best number 9 in the world who scored 300 fucking goals in 313 games, and nobody gives him the ball.
Any service, no service.
No service.
They're really young as well, though, isn't it? I think Doku's only 22, Savinho's 20. Like, they're young wingers as well. Do you know what I mean?
But Cherky, to be fair, Cherky just looks like he's fucking... He's on it. Like, come on, every time he come on, he's dangerous. He's got a little bit of arrogance about him. He's a little bit of a maverick. People are saying Pep's not going to like it, but I don't think this kid gives a shit. He think he's there to play football, and he looks like he's exciting to watch. And like you say, I'm excited about watching Cherky because last year we had a Kevin De Bruyne who was clearly, you know, past his best, who was trying. But it's when you see a great like Kevin De Bruyne can't do things he used to do, you've got to take a step back and say, you know what, it's time for him to go. City's done it with Yaya Toure. Watch Yaya Toure running 70 yards and scoring, and then he'd run 4 yards and fall on his ass. That's when you know it's time to go, you know? So,
do you know,